Welcome back to One Grand Film. In this video, I'm going to break down how filmmakers go from making films for just a few $1,000s to directing for Netflix, and why the film that you're probably focused on right now is the wrong one, and what you can do about it. My name is AJ Rome, and I founded One Grand Film to help filmmakers get traction in their own careers. I've now directed 4 feature films, over 20 commercials, and I've acted in a bunch of studio stuff you may have heard of. In building One Grand Film, I have talked to over 6,000 filmmakers, and the thing that most of them have in common is the script that they're focused on right now is keeping them in this development hell limbo scenario because it's just too big, and they're waiting for somebody to give them permission to start. Maybe this is you. Maybe you've entered contests. Maybe you've placed or won contests. You've put a bunch of festival laurels on things. You've got top 1% on the red list or won the black list, or maybe you just have no idea where to start. But the one resounding feeling is you've spent years chasing a project that you feel like maybe just won't ever come to be. And that's not because the industry isn't looking for people like you. It's because you're chasing the wrong target. We've been sold this idea that if we make something good enough, we'll get picked by Netflix, by A24, by some big agency or studio that will scoop us up from obscurity and launch us into cinema stardom. That's not how this works. Netflix isn't looking for cold submissions. And I'm just going to use Netflix as the overlords of the powers that be in the industry. They're looking for proof. And let's be honest for a second. If we did get the millions of dollars that we were chasing, we probably would have no idea how to spend that money in the first place. We'd waste it on big set pieces and too many VFX and too many locations and too many shoot days trying to make some version of Transformers 4 without the crew or the experience. But great filmmaking doesn't come from spectacle. It comes from constraints. It comes from story. I'm going to show you 2 filmmakers that I have modeled my own career after because what they did worked. The first is Jeremy Saulnier. You might know him from a feature film that came out on Netflix last year, one of the highest streaming, broke all the records at Netflix, called Rebel Ridge. But before that, and before he did Green Room with A24, he made a $250,000 horror comedy named Murder Party. Now, this movie didn't blow up. It grew a small cult following, but more importantly than that, it taught him how to start and finish a film, how to assemble a crew, how to direct actors, how to take something from idea to completed product to put out into the marketplace. After that film, he made a film called Blue Ruin. Now, Blue Ruin was the key to its success, and the budget was $420,000. He raised a portion of that on Kickstarter. You can actually still find the video today. He maxed out a bunch of credit cards, and he and his wife drained their retirement accounts. Now, do not try this at home. That is not what I'm suggesting you do. But what I think most of us miss is this mid-tier of movies that get overlooked because they're not constantly jammed down our throats on the main pages of Netflix or HBO. This is the $100,000 to $500,000 budget film. Jeremy said, "We were broke, but we had total creative control." That film went to Cannes, it won awards, and it built trust and relationships. That led to Green Room, a $5 million budget with studio backing and known actors, which eventually led to 2 episodes of True Detective Season 3 and Hold the Dark, and brings us back to the present, Rebel Ridge. That's how careers are built. Now let's talk about Mike Flanagan for a second. You might know him from Haunting of Hill House or Black Mass or Haunting of Bly Manor, but before all of those, he made a movie called Absentia for $70,000, shot in his apartment, with gear borrowed from friends. He said, "I had the cast, the location, and the budget limitations before I even had the story." He wrote the script around what he already had. They shot it over 15 days, they used natural light, minimal coverage, and relied on suspense, suggestion, and sound design instead of special effects. He even edited and shot the movie himself after his DP fell sick. And once that film was finished, he didn't just throw it into the void. and hope for some sort of global recognition and box office success. He took Absentia to Intrepid Pictures, which is a company known for making smart, contained genre films, and they introduced him to Jason Blum of Blumhouse. That's how Oculus got made. This film was still small, still tight, but now studio-backed. After that came Hush. That film went to South by Southwest, where it was scooped up for low to mid seven figures by, you guessed it, Netflix. They bought the global rights. That's how he got his foot in the door. Now, if you're noticing something, neither of these filmmakers were chasing investors right out of the gate. They built proof and they brought it to the right people. They didn't broadcast their films to the whole world. They narrowcasted. They targeted the exact partners their films were made for. They finished their films and let the films speak for themselves. Here's what that means for you. That $10 million TV show or film that you've done 38 drafts of is not where you should put your energy. It's probably not the one that gets you seen. But that $10,000, $20,000, $50,000 film, that one might. And if you're still thinking $10,000, I can't even find that. That's okay. I made my first film for $1,000, and it was messy and it was sloppy, but it wasn't about the money. It was about making the film. I wasn't trying to make millions of dollars getting that film distributed all over the world. If you can build momentum behind a project, it'll open doors to let you get your next one made. That $1,000 film led to my $50,000 film. I brought that to film festivals. I won a Best Director award that's over my head. That little $50,000 film led to a 1-2 punch. First is Dead Dawn, my $250,000 baby that I've spent 3 years developing and fundraising for, and my first contracted job, another $250,000 film called Silt that I just shot back to back. The moral of the whole story here is constraints actually make you better. They force you to focus on story, on character, on plot. You don't need 12 locations, you need 1 or 2 great ones. You don't need 20 actors, you need 2 or 4 that you trust. You don't need VFX, you need truth and conflict and character. Those are the things that last in the eyes of the audience. And here's the real hack that people ignore. If you want to build a career from the ground up, make something in genre. Horror, thriller, sci-fi, dark comedy. Genres help make your film more marketable. They help you stand out at festivals. They help you find your audience. And they help you connect with producers, reps, and distributors who are looking for something specific. So if you're watching this and your gut is telling you, yeah, it actually makes a lot of sense. Trust that. Stop chasing perfect. Start chasing possible. Start chasing proof. Don't be afraid of a messy film. Through the process of making a messy, finished film, you will learn so much more than endlessly polishing your 38th draft of that script that's probably never going to get made if you don't make that messy film. If any of this resonates with you, I'm putting together a 90-day challenge where I'm helping a small group of filmmakers create their first investorless feature film, going from idea to in the can using what they already have. If that sounds interesting to you and you can use the motivation and the push and the camaraderie of working with other filmmakers that you might also actually collaborate with, check out the link below. And whether you join or not, here's the thing I hope you leave with today. The goal isn't Netflix. The goal is to become the filmmaker that Netflix calls. And you don't get there by pitching, you get there by proving it. One small, focused, undeniable film at a time. And if you're looking for more resources to build your film career, you can join my Skool community. It's got a group of over 600 dedicated filmmakers that think just like you do. That is a community to pull from. And inside the group, you will find a bunch of courses to help you get from wherever you are now to that next step. I'd love to see you in there. Please send me a DM if you join. Thanks for watching. See you when I feel like making another video that actually means something.